Right, so video number one in this mini vlog series that I said I was going to do around my experience of starting a business. And for the first topic, I've decided to focus this on when is the best time to start a business. And I think the reality is there's no perfect answer to that question. I mean, when is the best time? Is there ever a perfect time? When I started Evolve, or when I took the punt and came on board full time at Evolve, I had a 3-month-old. I had a lot of financial commitments, and probably the timing wasn't perfect, but there were certain things and steps that I put in place to mitigate the risk as best I could. And I'll try and be very candid about that because it's important. And this is for people who are maybe on the fence a little bit. Should I do it? Should I not do it? And probably playing mental gymnastics around, what if I fail? What if it doesn't work? What if I don't win clients? Those types of things. But my personal experience was that in 2016, when we started Evolve, so we officially started in 2017, but in 2016, we started to build the product. So Matthew, my business partner, was working all the hours that God sent, evenings and weekends, as was I, supporting him, not in building the product, but certainly in putting in place things like a product plan and pulling together a sales pipeline and a marketing plan and trying to sell a product that didn't yet exist. And after a while of doing that part-time, so we both had good jobs working for other companies, but after a while of doing it part-time, we started to get a little bit of traction. We started to get a little bit of interest in the product, so much so that I thought, well, this isn't just a punt anymore. This is something that could actually work. And the conversation I had with my wife at the time was that, look, there's every chance that this might work. This is going to give me the opportunity to live my dream and do something I've always wanted to do since I was a kid and have my own business. But what needs to happen in order for me to do that? And we had a financial discussion. So like I said, we had a young son. We had bills to pay, mortgage, car payments, utilities, phone, shopping, everything that, a normal person has on a month-to-month basis. And we calculated that I would need around about £2,000 after tax to pay my share of the bills, which meant that I wanted to have in the bank before I started, because we'd agreed that we were going to try and build the company organically and bootstrap the business from the ground up. I needed to have 6 months' salary, giving me £2,000 per month in advance of me making the commitment to come on board full time and do Evolve, if you like, or do the business full time. Which meant, and again, rudimentary calculations were that if I wanted to pay myself £2,000 after tax, I would need to have at least 2,600, 2,700 in the bank every month by the time you take off tax and employers' national insurance and whatever else that we paid on a month-to-month basis, software, licenses, those types of things, in order to get that £2,000. Now, there might be some people watching this thinking, well, why didn't you just pay yourself in dividends? I didn't have a clue. Honestly, I didn't have a clue at the time. And maybe another topic for a good topic for a video might be get a good accountant who can give you that type of advice. And I've got a good accountant now, but at the time I didn't know any of that. So I worked pretty much every hour that God sent, evenings and weekends, to build that pipeline and make sure that I'd sold 6 months worth of 2,600, if that makes sense. So I wanted 2,600 roughly in the bank every single month to pay myself that £2,000. I wanted 6 times that. And the reason that I wanted 6 times that, which I think was like 18, 19 grand, something like that at the time, is because I knew, based on previous experience of working in the world of assessment in HR tech, that the typical sales cycle, so the time between the first conversation and a deal closing, would take between 3 and 6 months. So my logic was that if I had 6 months in the bank to really have a go at this, if I don't sell anything in the next 6 months, then it's probably not the right thing for me to be doing, but I'm going to give it a punt anyway. So that's my story of how I mitigated risk. I think the only advice that I would give to other people that are maybe going through a similar or the similar thinking pattern to what I went through at the time is, what's your sales cycle? What's your network like? If you took the leap tomorrow, how much money do you have in the bank? What's your own, financial commitments? There might be some people thinking about my 2,000 a month, and that seems a crazy amount to live on. Why do you need that much? But there'll be other people thinking, Christ, how could you live on so little? Everybody's different. You can never judge somebody's personal circumstances. But what you can do is really calculate what I need to live on every single month And of course, there are savings that you can make. We went from 2 cars to 1, for example. What do you need to live on every single month in order to make this work? And therefore, and how long is your sales cycle going to be? And then take the punt that way. That's what I did. For what it's worth, it seems to have worked so far. We've managed to grow quite nicely based on that original method, but it might not be perfect for everybody. But that's my experience, and I thought that would be a decent topic to start on. Cheers, guys.